Welcome, I'm Stymie, and in this video, we're going to show you how you can do a pork shoulder or a pork butt roast in your hook and cook barrel barbecue. We'll show you how our no peak philosophy gets these to come out so nice. They look a bit like a meteorite on the outside, but moist and juicy on the inside. By and large, they come out awesome. Let's go ahead and show you how we got started. So to prepare our roast, we'll put a rub on it, we'll wrap it, and then we'll let it sit overnight in the refrigerator. So if you've got a rub that you like, go ahead and get your pork butt nice and coated. If you don't, here's a simple one that I'll use. I'll use brown sugar as my base, black pepper, salt, and some other spices, and I'll mix those together. Get my roast nice and coated, all the sides, the top and the bottom, and then I'll get it good and wrapped. We'll wrap it both ways to seal it all in there. So we'll put plastic wrap this way, then like so. Now it's nice and wrapped and sealed. Now we'll go ahead, take you out to our hook and cook barrel barbecue and show you how we place that in there. For cooking times, this is how we'll go. If you're gonna do just one pork butt in your hook and cook barrel barbecue, I'll go 7 hours, and we'll show you how we stoke our coals every 2 hours. If you're gonna go 2 pork butts, I'd go about a half an hour for each additional one, so 7.5 hours, then up to 8 hours, and then up to 8.5 to 9 hours for 4 pork butts. But I'd probably work my way up there, and you might want to call your cardiologist to make sure you can handle that much pork. So let's go ahead and take you out there. So let's show you how we hook and hang pork butts or pork shoulders in our hook and cook barrel barbecue. Now we don't hook the meat and hang it on the rods. What we'll do is we'll hook and hang a grill in there. So we'll take 4 meat hooks, and in the outermost 4 holes, 1 in each hole. So the hook is hanging inside the grill. Then we'll go ahead, take our grill grate, hit it with a pan coating or a vegetable oil spray, and hang it right in there, right on those hooks. Now, what we'll do is we'll place our pork butt on one side. If we're doing 2, we'll do 1 on one side and 1 on the other. Just a note, remember, the fat cap, the fatty side will go up, and the meaty side will go down. That way the juices can drip over the duration of the cook, and I'll put that on one side. Then we'll go ahead, we'll put our lid on, and we're gonna come back every 2 hours to stoke our coal. So at 2 hours, 4 hours, and 6 hours, then we'll pull it out at the 7th hour. Now when you're cooking pork butts or pork shoulders, they go through a few different phases. One is a real hot phase where the outside will sear up and keep the juices inside. Then they'll go through a stall where the internal temperature won't go up for a little while. Then they need to rest. So we'll go ahead, all 3 of those phases will happen right inside the barrel barbecue. When we're all said and done, we'll come back, we'll pull it out, and we'll also wrap it, let it cool and rest for about a half an hour before we pull it apart. So now we're at our 2nd hour. Let's show you how we stoke the coals during these long smokes. What we'll do is we'll take our J hook or our lifting hook, and we're gonna stick it in every other hole going all the way around, simply sliding it in over the top of the disc and just moving the coals a little bit in the right and left direction. So I'll stick it in there, I'll go over, and very easily pull it out. And what I'll do is, at my 4 hour, I'll do the opposite holes. And what this does is, during the smoke, it gives us a more consistent heat throughout the entire duration of your cook. So now we're at our 6th hour. I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna stoke my coals one last time. We went ahead and put a long stem temp gauge in there. Now it needs to be right around 185 to 190, and we're right at that mark. So we're past our stall. Now for the next hour or so, it's just gonna sit in there and rest and get nice and tender. So we'll go ahead and take care of our coals and then bring you back and show you how it looks. So we've come to the end of our cook time. Time to pull them out. So what we'll do is we'll pull our lid back very carefully. I'll remove my glove, and I'll get a nice sturdy steel spatula, And if it's connected to the grill in any way, you want to release it from the grill to make sure you get a good grab on it when you're pulling it out. Now get a good grab on it, and this is a bear claw. You can use a fork. Go ahead and make sure you got it nice and safe and secure, and then place it on a piece of foil. Then what we're gonna do is we're gonna cooler rest it for another half an hour. So we'll go ahead and we'll put a nice wrap on this. We'll drop it in our cooler. We'll leave it in there 30 minutes, bring it inside, we'll pull it out, give you a nice close look at it. So we brought our pork butt in, we pulled it out of the cooler after it's rested in there, and we're gonna pull it apart and make a nice pulled pork sandwich. Just a quick recap, when we started, go ahead the night before, rub your pork butt, wrap it, get it in the fridge. In the morning, pull it out, unwrap it, let it get more of an ambient room temperature. Light your grill. Give yourself about 8 hours from start to finish. Go ahead and once your grill is lit, get your pork butt in. Every couple hours, stoke your coals. When it's all done, pull it out, wrap it, and let it cooler rest as long as you want, at least 30 minutes. Now let's go ahead and get into it. There's two parts that I'm gonna pull apart first. One is we're gonna take this fat cap, and I'm gonna take it off. I'm not a person that keeps the fat cap on. If you wanna shred it with your fat cap on, by all means, go for it. It makes the meat very juicy. Also, there's a bone. A good way to know when your pork butt's done, the bone should pull out pretty easily. It's pretty hot, but there we go. There's your bone. We'll put that to the side. And now, my bear claws, you can use forks or whatever you got. What I'll do is I'll just kind of pull that meat across there, across the grain. We'll pull that big chunk off there. It's a bit fatty inside. Probably fine to leave the fat cap off. Then I'll pull it apart and shred it. Any way you want to serve it, count the ways. I love pork. Now we'll go ahead. I'll fill up my sandwich here with a bunch of this. It's hot. A little barbecue sauce. And we're ready to go. Now, I can eat tons of this, but as I always say, I always have to remember, eat responsibly. Thanks for watching. Keeping it simple with Stymie.